Hi, I'm Vanna White. Welcome to this edition of VBFD Frontline.
Hello, I'm Captain Buddy Martinet, and welcome to another edition of VBFD Frontline. With us this month, we have Troy Thornton, and Troy is going to help us open the program up. He's from the Country Fire Authority of Victoria in Australia. And Troy, thanks for coming by the program, spend some time with us.
Pleasure to be here, buddy.
Listen, we always like to talk to other people around the country about the fire service in general, and we've had some Russians on here before, we've had some English people on here before, and it really is always interesting to talk about them. And I understand you're from a small little department in Australia. Maybe you could elaborate on that, tell us a little bit about it. I know it is, I'm making a joke, but it is quite large. Tell everybody how big your department is.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, it's the Country Fire Authority of Victoria in Australia. It's in the southeast portion of Australia. It's quite a large state, a little bit larger than Virginia. The fire department itself has over 1,250 fire stations spread over 5 divisions throughout the state, and we have some 1,000 professionals with around about 70,000 rural volunteers and 10,000 urban volunteers.
Really? So around about 80,000 people altogether in your fire service to cover that whole thing.
That's correct.
Is most of that, Troy, spread out, or is it urbanized or the urban part of the busy part of the fire department is real like towards a city somewhere, as opposed to being out in the county?
Yeah, sure. There's actually 2 fire services in the state. Mm-hmm. The Metropolitan Fire Brigade, which covers the metropolitan area of the city of Melbourne, which is the capital of the state. There's about 2 million people in that city. There are also about 5 other large provincial cities throughout the state. The Country Fire Authority covers those areas outside the Metropolitan Fire Brigade district in metropolitan Melbourne, mm-hmm. and areas outside state forests, national parks and protected public lands. The urban part of our responsibility is the major provincial cities throughout the state.
All right. Troy, you've been over here in the United States about 6 months now. Can you tell us a little bit about what they sent you over here to do?
Sure. My mission was, the Chief Officer sent me here to visit as many fire departments as I can in the United States with a view to evaluating their technical rescue equipment, systems and techniques.
How did you end up here? Well, tell me a little bit about where you've been before you came to Virginia Beach, because I know you've been plenty other places.
Sure, yeah. I came through LA, visited LA County and LA City Fire Department. Mm-hmm. Our fire department has strong ties with LA County, very similar fire department. I then came through Chicago and Detroit, spent a lot of time in Michigan, based myself out of Michigan in fact, and then I worked my way down to Nevada in Reno, and then from Reno came over to Virginia Beach to spend some time looking at your technical rescue school.
Right. Tell us a little bit about how the fire department differs. In particular, you know a lot about how we run in Virginia Beach and how we do business. How does that differ from how they do business in Australia?
With respect to technical rescue? Or
yeah, or no, just firefighting in general.
I think basically we're all doing the same job. Terminology is the big difference that I've found. I've had to adapt to the terminology. For example, we call our fire trucks appliances and our equipment is called apparatus, which I understand is exactly backwards, yeah. So terminology is one thing that I've had to overcome. Being here 6 months, I've managed to do that now, and I'm a little bit more familiar with your terminology. Mm-hmm. But that is the biggest difference.
So basically, we're fighting fires the same way.
Yeah, basically the same way. We use a incident control system, which is really based on your incident command system. Mm-hmm. We had officers come over here some time ago, representing a number of different fire departments in Australia, and they adopted the same concept. So we're using ICS, we're using similar technology in terms of equipment. And similar techniques. So I think we're all achieving the same end. It's just going around about it in a different way.
Tell us, you were specifically sent over here to do the evaluation for technical rescue. Where is Australia as far as specialized rescue goes, or what we call technical rescue?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point in itself. The term technical rescue isn't used liberally in Australia at all. In fact, most of the aspects of technical rescue have been segregated. We have confined space in one area, we have what we call high angle rescue in another area, and trench rescue in another area, and then road accident rescue. And all of the people that are trained in those areas usually go through those programs separately, and they're very individualised. They're not called technical rescue generically. So
somebody would specialise in a particular area as opposed to having a general knowledge in all of it.
That's correct at the moment, but at the moment, Australian fire departments in general, through the Australian Fire Authority Council, are working towards a similar scheme as what the United States are using and the Federal Emergency Management Agency. We're looking to establishing USAR teams around the country in a similar fashion to what the United States do.
What do you think about the American fire service in general? I mean, how do you find the firefighters?
Well, we've discussed this before, I know. The camaraderie out there, the brotherhood, firefighters all over the world, it doesn't matter where I go, particularly in the United States, they'll welcome you into their firehouses, sit you down and give you a meal, and we'll talk about firefighting, and you're made very welcome. I've been made very welcome throughout the country. And it's the same at Virginia Beach Fire Department. I've met your chief, and he's just opened his arms to me for as far as the department's concerned, and I've had the opportunity to attend the various courses that are part of your technical rescue, and I thank him for that. So there's a real brotherhood out there, which I think is unique to other occupations that people have throughout the world.
Right. And you have had, for those of you who don't know it, Troy has had the opportunity to go to just about every HTR module I think that we have now you've been through. That I can recollect, because he just, for those of you who don't know, got back from South Boston, so he was in fact very much in tune to a different type of culture. For those of you who have ever been to South Boston, that was a kind of a unique experience for him. What did you think about the difference in just how it is in Virginia? I mean, you've been from one end of the state to the other, like I said, in South Boston. How was it up there?
Yeah, well, apart from the fact that you all talk funny over here, and in the West, obviously, you know, it's been really good for me because I've been able to do exactly what my mission was, and that was to evaluate different systems and techniques and equipment. They do vary subtly, and from state to state it is completely different in some areas. So that's been a real eye-opener for myself, and it's been part of the evaluation.
How do you get your information? Did your chief just send you over here carte blanche and say, go for it, you know, find out whatever you can, I'll see you next year?
Well, yeah, I guess basically that's the concept. I'm actually on leave without pay, leave of absence, I believe you refer to it as leave of absence. But yeah, for 12 months leave of absence. I'm not being paid by my fire department, but they're certainly reimbursing me for expenses. And
so they're paying your expenses as opposed to just paying you. Well, it's got to be a unique experience for you to be able to do that.
It has, yeah. It's been great.
It has. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on and helping us open the program up this month. It's, I mean, I've gotten a chance to meet you and know you personally, and it's, you seem like a wonderful, wonderful person, and you're welcome back here in Virginia Beach anytime. Did you have anything maybe you wanted to say to them out there before
Sure, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I really would like to particularly thank the Chief Dizell, and the Virginia Beach Fire Department for the opportunities that you've given me during the period of time that I've been here. It's been a fantastic experience for me. I'll be moving back up to the north now, but I do hope to get back down here for the HDR school later on this year. So hopefully I'll catch up with all the people that I've acquainted since I've been here. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Troy. All right, let me give you a rundown on the program this month.